Good day, welcome. This is your Daily Med with Lady V. Today, as we look at that holy and beautiful city, the one whose builder and ruler is God. As we say, John saw it descending from heaven when he was exiled on the island of Patmos. And so today we'll talk about the new Jerusalem, its walls, its gates, and its foundation. Revelation chapter 21, verse 12 through verse 14. Also Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20 through 22. John tells us in the book of Revelation chapter 21, verse 12 through 14. He says, "And it had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east, 3 gates, on the north, 3 gates, on the south, 3 gates, and on the west, 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb." And we will also see what the Apostle Paul says to us in Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 20. Ephesians chapter 2, as we read verse 20 through 22, it says, "Now therefore," starting at 19, "ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto a holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are built together for an inhabitation of God through the Spirit." So, what did John says to us? The Apostle John, the disciple John, or what did the Apostle Paul says to us about this city? As we see from the book of Revelation, John saw this city. We know for a fact from the scripture that it is the home of the redeemed of all times. We know this is true because that city has some names written on the 12 gates, the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. Revelation 21 and verse 12. Representing all the saved of the Old Testament or the Old Covenant. John saw the new Jerusalem descending out of heaven as radiant with the glory of God, and he said it was sparkling like a costly gem. It was surrounded by a massive wall in which there were 12 gates, graced by the presence of 12 angels, and also bearing the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. John says to us, 3 gates faced each of the compass, 3 to the east, 3 to the north, another 3 to the south, and another 3 to the west. He says they were number 12 being used many times, which represents government or administration. He says the 12 foundations of the walls bore the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And when we get to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20 through 22, the Apostle Paul let us understand why this is so. And so the reference here is saying the fact is that the apostles are the ones who laid the foundation of the church in which they taught concerning Jesus Christ and his work. So Paul pictures it here. He says, the apostles have become stones in the construction of the holy temple. And with great detail, he described this temple. Remember, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone. So Paul tells us, as we understand its foundation, its chief cornerstone, its a cohesive agent, its unity, and the symmetry, its growth, and its other unique features. He says to us that this temple is built on the foundation of the apostles and the prophets. And we say this is a reference to the apostles and the prophets of the New Testament era. This is not the Old Testament prophets because they knew nothing about the church. So we understand from what Paul wrote that he is talking about the New Testament apostles. He's talking about the New Testament prophets as they were the ones who first taught the great truth concerning Christ and about the church. So the foundation they laid is preserved for us. Where? In the writings of the New Testament, that which we have just read in Ephesians 2 and verse 19 through 22. Although these apostles themselves are no longer with us, they allow us to understand that the Gentiles are no longer strangers. The Gentiles are no longer foreigners, but we are taught that they are citizens with equal rights with the saints and of all those who are of the household of God. So as we continue our study about the New Jerusalem, I trust and hope that as we go through these scriptures together, we will have a better understanding of what the Apostle John says to us, especially in the book of Revelation, as it concerns the coming of the new Jerusalem out of heaven to its final abode, its final resting place, where the saints of God will be with God through all eternity. And that will be upon the earth when the new Jerusalem comes down out of heaven to be upon the earth. Jerusalem, its capital, it's a universal capital. We will find that city. God bless you. Thank you again for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and please remember to leave your comment and visit my YouTube channel, Daily Med with Lady V.